So, welcome. If this is recording, then. Oh boy, this is super late. Almost a year late. Because this month is May. And I'm going. This is going to be completing the year of 2022. So, let's get into it, I suppose. Um, this is the log for August of 2022. And what I read. Berserk. I believe this was volume 11 of the deluxe, if I'm correct. Either 11 or 10. Um, a lot happened. If I, from my, because this is so long ago. Ah, darn. We got to see more of Guts and his crew. There was a brawl between two of them, Guts and someone else. I'm sure you can imagine who won. Guts. But I really loved this volume. I'm trying not to give anything away from, 12, 13, for when I get to those. Next up, this was Undead Unluck, I believe, volume 7 or 8. As you can see here, I don't remember her name. Furaka, Bebebe. Let me grab volume 1. Let me just take a little peek. Fuko. Fuko went into Andy's memories and met this guy named Victor, his alter ego. I don't care if this isn't a spoiler. This is we don't exactly know who Victor is entirely yet. He was somebody who used to possess Andy's body. In this volume, we got more closure, more context as to who he is. And I really loved it. Fuko's growth was awesome, and Andy's growth was awesome. Really a unique manga. I recommend it to everybody. Next up, this Hellbound. This was volume 2, right? We got more info. We started to learn more about these beasts, these things, and the release schedule for this is insane. It's so freaking long. I wish it was more consistent. I mean, as far as I know, Volume 2 was the most recent one. I can give it a look right now and see. I'm not going to see. You know what? It's going to take forever to load the app. But I'm really liking the series. I don't think I'll watch the Netflix adaptation. Just like with Alice in Borderland, I think I'll stick to the manhwa/manga. Because you're going to see details in that you won't see in the shows. So, yeah. Next up, Tokyo Revengers. This was Omnibus 1. And currently there are five omnibuses. So, of course, I've already seen the anime, at least all of season 1. Season 2 isn't on Crunchyroll. These are 2-in-1 omnibuses, so it's going to be a lot of repeating the same stuff. I've seen panels, and I've heard this manga goes wacky. Like, it loses its plot, and it just nothing makes sense anymore. But with time travel, that's what you're gonna get, I guess. At some point, somebody's gonna figure out or not understand. They're gonna lose their concept, essentially, and it's gonna go south. It's gonna be wacky. Yeah. Next up. This was My Distant Neighborhood. This was I this was a one shot, I think. There's another one by the same name with another like word added on. This is another time travel one. Um it was kind of mid. It was kind of bad. I didn't enjoy it. It was kind of like, oh, yeah, that was that. It it was, like I said, wasn't very good in my opinion. Next up, I started reading a comic. This isn't manga, but I'm putting it in here anyway. Just like I put manhwa in here. I started Y Last Man. Um, and I brought it with me to Boston when I went. I think I finished it in Boston actually, but that's next month's thing. Uh, Really great series. It has a season. It has like one season on TV got canceled. I think I know why, because the content is a bit edgy. It is like there's some like misogyny, misandrist shit. My cat's trying to get in. I'm not letting him in. He's a menace to society with his flat face. Um, Essentially, it's about this man named Yorick and his monkey Ampersand. They're both the last two males left on the planet, and you journey to discover why, no pun intended, why this happened. This is by the. Ooh, I don't remember who this is by. I can look. I think I can look. Sorry for the noise. Braun K. Vaughn. Stephen King rated this graphic novel highly. He was like very enjoyable. I don't remember what else this guy made. Not The Walking Dead. That's Garth Guinness or something like that. No, that's not Garth Guinness. I don't remember. Sorry, my bad. But that is all for August of 2022. Now, if I'm doing this correctly, this should pause the video, and I can resume it instead of stopping the video and having to splice things together. Very scuffed. Here we go. It worked. It worked. But I need to change the hotkey. I'll do that next time I pause. So that doesn't happen again. This month is September of 2022. I finished Y the Last Man. I really enjoyed it. It was weird. It's a weird thing. Get the omnibus. If you're not... See, my issue... I'll make a video about comics and why I don't really like American comics as much as I do like... I don't care about this. Ignore that. But, yeah. Great series. Wacky, gory, has comedy. Some of the jokes don't land. I believe there's some foul language used. I believe the hard R's is in there. Like a couple times, like two or three times throughout the whole thing. But yeah, it's good. Like this series, like if you don't, I'm sure, like look up trigger warnings. I recommend it. Next up, I read All of the Boys. This is the one that made The Preacher. He also made The Boys as well. The comics, it's like essentially it's like gore porn. Fuck, sorry. It's like gore porn, torture porn. It's very gory. Some of it doesn't make sense. Some of it's just for the hell of it, clearly. And that is kind of, The TV show is way better. It stays connected. Whereas the stories in the comic, they feel episodic. Like, each mission is pretty episodic, and I wasn't really a fan of that. It's why I don't really read, like, slice of life manga. It's not episodic. The only episodic thing I read is Zom 100 and Rent a Girlfriend was a thing, but I kind of stopped. What else is episodic that I read? Sakamoto Days is sort of episodic. PTSD Radio for sure. I'll get into that later. Yeah, but it was great. I mean, superhero manga, comic, not manga. Sorry. Not for the faint of heart. Again, the show is better. Go watch the show. I'm not letting you in, Cat. I have nothing for him in here. Anyway, next up, Rooster Fighter. I read the first volume. It was okay. It was wacky. It was weird. You get to see him bang a hen. So that's a thing. I guess if you like to read wacky, like, for fun stuff, like, shut off your brain, just read shonen. But it's a rooster. Yeah. It was alright. I didn't pick up volume 2 or 3 or however many are out now, because I didn't really enjoy it that much. So, next up. This is Island in the Puddle. The Island in the Puddle. Island in the Puddle. It's about it's like a body swap between two people, and it's very intense. It's by the creator of Erased. That's why it threw me off for a minute, because I was like, wait a minute, this art style, was it Erased? No, I only have volume 1 of Erased because I watched the anime. Maybe I'll finish it in the future, but I recommend it. It's wacky. The volumes aren't coming out fast enough. It's one of those series that I like, and I read it, and I'm like, I try to hold off. I put it down on my stack a little lower, and I try my best to hold off on reading it. And I'm not always successful in that, because it's so good. Essentially, a young boy and a criminal get body swapped. And obviously, this criminal is wanted, so the boy has to adapt. And the criminal is like, plotting stuff like, I can get away with a lot in this body. It can be a fresh start for me. And we learn about each character. I really like it. Give it a read. It's like a mystery thriller. The mystery is, how did they switch bodies, and how do you switch back? But for now, they're trying to situate their lives, somehow become stable, per se. Yeah. Next up. Oh, damn. This one, I think I got like the first 2-3 volumes. It's Call of the Night. I guess I chose a quality of a picture that's not good. I don't really like it. It has kind of that trope where essentially there's a lolly. I call her a lolly. I don't know if she is. She's a vampire. This girl, and not this girl, but another girl. And she's kind of like, you should have left me, little boy. And there's this like middle schooler, or maybe he's like a freshman in high school. I don't exactly remember. And the covers are, they have the little vampire girl. She's around the same age, I guess. So, yeah, she's a lolly. and it just makes me uncomfortable to get it. I don't know. This one's also episodic. So far, I can't see any plot whatsoever. But I've only read the first 2, 3 volumes. I can look because I have a list on my phone for collected volumes of manga. Um, yep, first 3 volumes. Yeah, I didn't really like it. I'm not gonna read it. I don't get rid of volumes I don't like because it's my collection. You know, maybe one day I'll get into it. Who knows? Next up, Boys Run the Riot. I wasn't sure if I liked this. Not because it's about a trans person, but because I'm not into fashion. Like, I don't know anything about fashion, but it really holds your hand as they, break through, like, self discovery, get closer together, and it's only like 5 volumes long, 5 or 6. It's really good. Give it a read. It's has some, trigger warnings, obviously, because not everyone is nice to this guy. I don't remember his name, but he's the one jumping into the water. Um, yeah, it's oh my god, I loved it so much. I will gladly check out another. Like, if the creator of this manga gets another thing published physically, I will definitely check it out. Next up, that's it. Move on to October 2022. I finished Boys Run the Riot. I didn't finish it, that previous one. And see, this is him talking about how he likes seeing himself in these clothes, and that's sort of what inspires him to create fashion. Because normally he draws, he's an artist, he graffitis, and then he meets this guy, this other guy, and together they bond and over fashion. They want to create clothes that they feel comfortable in, and then their brand actually is Boys Run the Riot. That's where the title of the manga comes from. Loved it. I loved it so much. So, here's the thing. I think some people aren't gonna like it because they're transphobic. Okay, I'm not. Cause I'm just not. Okay, look, I don't care. This isn't political. I'm not getting political. I just let people be who they want to be. That's all that matters, right? They're not gonna hurt you by being what they want to be, unless it's like a pedophile or a rapist or a criminal in any sort of way. But if it's just something, if it's not gonna hurt you, then don't or anyone else, don't bother with hating on them. It's not worth it. You're wasting energy because, and at the end of the day, they won't care what you think. They're still gonna go through with what they're going through with, right? So, sorry, didn't mean to get political. I just know I don't. Some people are transphobic, homophobic, and I just want to get that out of the way. Like, you know, this manga isn't for you if you are transphobic. Um, yeah. Or, maybe if you are, I'd still suggest giving it a read. Maybe it'll change your mind. You know? Anyway, next up. Fist of the North Star. I'm waiting till all the volumes come out. I'm done reading it. The story is weird. It doesn't. The plot is very loose. I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen? What is next? I mean, it's shonen. You're not meant to really like get into a plot. Um, pretty good though. I like the fighting. Me man, me like fights. Rah. Next up, Fire Force. Oh, this must have been like volume 26. We're all the way up to 32 right now. It's getting lit. No pun intended. Like, so much is happening. It's so good. So, so good. Give it a read. Please. It's peak. Mwah. Chef's kiss. The action. The mystery. There was a panel with a real life person in it. Yeah. The mangaka took pictures of this woman. I don't know. She didn't get credited anywhere as far as I could look in the physical volume. She didn't get credited. So yeah, it broke the fourth wall. It was like, oh yes, this was before the catastrophe, catalysm. Yeah, love it. Next up, Jujutsu Kaisen. Nah, more peak. Yeah, all I read is peak. I don't know which volume this was, but it's lit. It's great. Um, I don't think this was must have been. Well, I've been in the Cooling Games for at least 3 volumes right now. I have volume 19. Um, so this must have been the beginning of the Cooling Games, if I had to guess. Um, it's great. It's great. The anime is coming back soon for season 2. Wait, I don't know if I mentioned this. What month is this? November? October? October. Um, it's a great shonen. It's one of the best that are out right now. Yeah. This one? Fuck. Fuck me. Holy shit. Oh my god. Fuck me. What is that? Wait. 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 I think this is Welcome Back, Alice. Hang on. Hang on. Yes. Maybe. Maybe? It's by Shuzo Oshimi. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, this is Welcome Back, Alice. It's great. I love it. This one, again, it sort of deals with LGBTQ stuff. Like, the person who dresses as a girl is, in the most recent, I think this was volume 3. I think we're up to like 4 now. But they address that they don't feel neither female or male. They just exist, you know? They're non binary, essentially. They didn't say it, but they implied it. Which is cool. Awesome. I like how Shuzo Oshimi isn't afraid to dive into things. I love whenever he talks about, at the end, about his little notes, his author notes. And I have to watch the Monben episode. It's the Naoki Urasawa show. When he goes with mangakas, interviews them, asks them questions. I started watching the Inio Sana one. I really want to watch that one. The Junji Ito one and the Shuzo Oshimi one. This one. My screen has a little thing on it. I need to clean my monitor, I guess. Next up, Blue Lock. It's getting heated. Volume 6 is currently out. I have that in my TBR pile behind me. This must have been volume 4. Things are getting heated. I love it. I'm not a huge soccer guy, but this is like, if you're not into sports, it's gonna drag you in. I swear, I promise to you, it'll drag you in. Give it a read. It has some swearing in it if you're not a little, sensitive to that. But it's so incredible. Like, whenever they're in a match, I get hype. I'm like, why am I into this? I've seen some soccer matches IRL, but this is cool. I like it. Essentially, Blue Lock is soccer manga. these strikers, if you don't know what a striker is, they kick. Anyway, these strikers are all put in a thing called Blue Lock, and they're going against each other, but they're also working together as a team, different teams, and the one who makes it out on top of all this gets to be put on the Japan Olympics team, soccer team. Yeah. Next up. Hang on. Hang on. What? You can hear my cat using the litter box. Oh my god. What? Wait. I don't remember this. It might have. No. Let's just take a look, yeah? Let's see what version history. See version history. Show me. You can see, normally my process is I add in. Wait. Oh my god. Silver Spoon! I didn't think I liked this series, but I do. Boogie Snacks recommended it, and I gave it a shot. It's by the same mangaka who created Full Metal Alchemist. And this is sort of episodic, but it has story. I love it, okay? I got through the spring. Now they're in summer right now. Almost fall. It's really awesome. And, you know, it's about this kid who goes to an agricultural, school. Because he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. So he's like, hey, I'm going to go here. And then he gets manual labor. It's so cool. It's so awesome. I love it. I want to get all of it. I have a plan on what I want to get. I'll go over that in like the next video or two. It's awesome. Give it a read. It's all 100. Bucket List of the Undead. This was either volume 7 or 8. I don't remember. But it's pretty good. This is episodic as well. Sorta. I read it. You know. I'm not. This is has the mangaka of one of them. One of the mangakas on this is the one who made Alice in Borderland, so that's cool. It's an interesting series. It's wacky. I say that a lot about all of these, but it's what I read a lot of. It has zombies, so it has some violence. But maybe it'll inspire you to make a bucket list. The clock is striking. It is 11 a.m. It's okay. I enjoy it. It's kind of like shut off your brain. Don't think about anything too hard. This I'm really enjoying. This is it's a romance. Typically not what I read. It's a shoujo. Hang on. I'm really struggling to find it. No, surely it's here. Perfect World is the name. Essentially, this girl has a crush in high school or middle school. She graduates, goes to a university. This dude does as well. They meet up later in life. He is now disabled from the waist down. And they start lovey-dovey things. It's very nice. It's very wholesome. It kind of informs you. It's very informative as well, I'd say. But it shows how, sometimes their relationship struggles. It's so good. I want to get the rest of it. I don't know if it's completed or not. It's also one of the things I really like. Like I said, I'm not normally into shoujo, but it's so good. I've read the first 2 volumes. I love it. It really pulls at your heartstrings. It's like, oh, yes. Give it a read. Please. I didn't sell you on that really well, but look up the synopsis. It'll reel you in. Next up, Solo Leveling. This must have been, damn, volume. Well, I have volume 6. That's not, yeah, volume 6. This must have been volume 4, volume 5? Maybe even 3? I don't remember, but it's cool. Right now, there's actually a spin off series. So Solo Leveling has ended, and there's actually a spin off series about this guy's kid. And I believe the artist actually died recently, like a couple months ago, for the Solo Leveling. I know it's originally a light novel anyway, but still. Very tragic. So far, I'm really enjoying it. But I've seen there are like 100 chapters, which is insane to me. There are only like 4 or 5 per of these volumes. Holy crap, it's insane. I really like seeing the players go at each other. They're sort of players, but not. It's weird. It's a weird concept to talk about. The adventurers go after you, like when they duel. It's so awesome. This was Blue Period. I believe this is volume 10. Either 10 or 11. I think it's 10. 10 or 9. 9, 10, or 11. This was a very good volume. This happened. They had a project, Yutora and him. That's not Yutora. Yaguchi and him. And it was really wholesome. He actually, like he says right there, he enjoyed what he drew. For once. I won't spoil what it was, but it was awesome. It's such a good series. It teaches you a lot about art, even if you don't know anything like me. And it's so, like, I can't stress enough how you should go read it. There are currently 12 volumes, maybe even 13. I believe 12 right now. Please, give it a read. Again, more Tokyo Revengers. This must have been Omnibus 2 or 3. I believe 2. Again, time travel stuff gets weird. It's okay. It's pretty good. If you haven't watched the anime, you're gonna love it. The chapters go by so quick that it turns to trash later on. Apparently, I don't know. Next up. Oh my god, Happiness. I finally finished Happiness. I was such a good ending. I love Shuzo Oshimi and his works. Happiness was incredible. The ending, though, I mean, I liked it, but I would love, like, a prologue. Not a prologue, an epilogue of, I don't know, more years into the future. Because, essentially, this boy becomes a vampire. It's almost like Tokyo Ghoul. He has to get used to the world. But while that is a similar plot to Tokyo Ghoul, it is completely different. There isn't really fighting. But oh my god, there's a cult in this as well with a vampire. It's bizarre. Please read it. Read all of Shuzo Oshimi's stuff. I think I have all of his physical releases so far. Oh no, I have to get volume 13 of Blood on the Tracks. But still. Incredible mangaka. This was Summertime Rendering. I started it because it is only 6 volumes long, 6 or 7. The anime came out around this time of October, well, before that. and I wasn't gonna pirate it because sometimes, I say screw it. I'll read the manga if the manga's available. If I can't watch the anime, then I don't watch the anime. If it's not on Crunchyroll, Netflix, or something like that. This is also a time travel manga, but it's not like Tokyo Revengers time travel. It's really different. Essentially, this boy goes back to his island because his childhood friend dies, and mysteries unravel as you discover the island is not as it seems. There are these creatures that can like clone people, and it's there's so much to explain. I would recommend just reading it. Like I said with almost all of these, it's so good. All the volumes are out. There are hardcover editions as well that just recently came out like a couple months ago. Um, or you can watch the anime. I believe the anime is only like 24 episodes. It's a really short like read, like 6 volumes. They're pretty chunky, but a lot of it can come down to the artwork. And the paneling can be big. Um, read it. Read it now, please. Next up, Pluto. I think, yeah, Pluto. Recently, the guy announced that an anime for Pluto is coming out. So now I want to get the rest of the manga. But it's so good. It's a spin-off from an Astro Boy story by Naoki Urasawa. He didn't make Astro Boy, but this spin-off story, he got permission to make it by the creator of Astro Boy's father. The son. And so that's pretty cool. Essentially, it is about these robots. There's a killer out to get them, and we follow a detective who's going to solve it, going to protect them. There were like 7 wonderful robots, like wonders of the world robots. Um, each are different. The one that was introduced in Volume 1, he was a wartime robot turned into like a servant to this guy, a blind guy, I believe, who plays the piano and other instruments, and essentially is really wholesome. And this was like the first killing and what the person left behind. Yeah, really good. I'm gonna read more of it before the anime comes out. It's being made by Netflix, so you know it's probably gonna get butchered. So, 7 Deadly Frames. This is Paradise. Not Paradise. Grand Blue Dreaming. It's weird. I didn't like it. It sort of has an incest thing going on, but apparently they're not really cousins. But to me, that doesn't matter. If you are raised like family, then it's still weird to pursue. It's like if someone were to go after their adoptive sibling. That's fucking weird. Sure, it has comedy, but it's like I don't know if I'll continue it. I might just watch the anime, see if the anime does that better. Probably won't, but it was okay. The artwork was really great, though. Yeah. Next up, this is Witch Hat Altier. I read the first 2 or 3 volumes. So good. It has such a unique twist on magic, and there's a mystery. Someone's trying to go after this girl, and I think this they call the males witches as well, I believe. Normally, male witches are just called wizards, but the magic casting is so unique. I love it. I want to read more. I think there are like 11 or 12 volumes out right now. So I have quite a bit to do to catch up. This guy in the back is sus. I'm really sus of him. He seems weird. Um, it's so wild. The artwork is amazing as well. I can't wait to explore the world more. For example, Mashal. I hate Mashal. Okay, it's so bland to me. Like, I don't like it. My stomach is hungry. I gotta eat after this. But I don't like Mashal. It's mid. I've only read the first volume. I know the anime's out. Anyway, it's not for me. Next up, Eminon, or No Name. Eminon's name is No Name backwards. It's essentially about this girl who got reincarnated. And she walks the earth in each reincarnation. But she only gets reincarnated into females. Normally it's daughters. Like, she'll have a daughter, and she'll get transferred into that daughter, and the mother will lose the memory of having the reincarnation in her. It's weird. The first volume centers around her and this dude on a boat, and she tells her story about her reincarnations. I don't remember why she got reincarnated, but essentially she was a folk legend. And anyway, she calls herself Eminon, No Name. I thought that was really cool. The artwork is cool, as you can see this panel on the ship. Really dope. It's episodic, it appears. I don't know if there's any like real plot. I know it's completed. I don't know. See, with episodic stuff, I wonder how it gets completed. Like, Love is War, Kaguya-sama Love is War. That has a unique taste on shoujo, so I might actually continue reading that or go to the anime. Apparently, the Quintessential Quintuplets is getting another adaptation, and that's bizarre to me. Also, I think the ending, who was chosen, I think it's really stupid still. I'm not over that, but I'm not as like butthurt about it, although I'm not happy about it. Anyway, this a nasty manga by Chase the Dark Sage. It's Booty Royale, the first omnibus. Obviously collects 2 volumes. I didn't really like it. It gave me rapey vibes, but apparently it turned into like an ecchi like Baki later on. She doesn't have sex, but it comes close to it. There's a lesbian that's into her. It's wacky. It's episodic. It has some blood in it. I don't like it though. I'm not a fan of it. Like, they call her like watermelon chest, like some kids do. Maybe. The first chapter is weird. She has to fight 100 people, or she gets fucked, raped, whatever. I mean, obviously she doesn't want to get raped, but her clothes do get ripped off. But she does end up kicking 100 people's asses. She's badass though. I like her. I don't like the premise. Maybe I'll see when it turns into a Baki sort of like situation. But I don't know. I don't really like it. It's not my thing. Okay, it's weird. I'm not a nasty man. Okay, I like Prison School. Oh, but that has comedy in it. Okay. Apparently, the ending to that is kind of dog water as well, though. So who knows? Next up, I guess that was the final thing I read in October. Let's go to November of 2022. The Boob Goddess. That's what they called her. I finished the omnibus for Booty Royale. It took me a while because I wasn't really into it. Finished it at the beginning of November. Next up, I think I finished Devil Ecstasy. Another manga by Shuzo Oshimi. Really ecchi. Really a comedy. Their clitoris is in their tongue. It's under their tongue or something. And he made her come. This guy is an exorcist for them. It's really funny. It's really wacky. If you're looking to have a good time with Shuzo Oshimi, this is it. Like, just lose your brain, wacky shit. Um, they're succubi, and they're trying to take over the world. It's weird. I liked it though. Really good. I didn't. It wasn't the best Shuzo Oshimi work, but it was really nice. His comments at the end were very hilarious. I think he had his wife help him with this, or something like that. He was like, honey, what do you think of this?" And essentially, how the idea came up is he was just spitballing stuff, and the editors were like, "Hey, let's go with that. Let's see if this does well." It did well. Two, I'm calling them omnibus. Two omnibus, two giant things. There's a yellow car outside my house. I just did a backed up, going away. This was Pandora Hearts. Very weird series, sort of like an Alice in Wonderland vibes. I don't know how I feel about it. It was weird. I didn't really know anything going into it. I'm hesitant. Maybe it's like one of those where you have to read 2 or 3 volumes before it actually gets like good or you're used to it. So this is one of those I might come back to. I'm unsure, but there was a lot of blood. I think this was Shonen Jump. It was very like bloody for a Shonen Jump manga. I liked it though. I liked the concept. It was a bit weird, wacky. It kind of makes me want to read more now that I'm thinking about it and what happened. It's like, wow, I should really look back and go into that. Next up, oh yeah, I censored this. Gigant. This was There are no good panels. Like there are no panels up on Google for Gigant. So I took this because she's killing the fucking devil, demon, giant, and she just fucking murdered him. Yeah. I don't think this will get taken down, but I don't give a shit. Okay, I just want to talk about manga. I censored it myself. Yeah. This is completed. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know what volume this was. This wasn't like the final volume. It ended like earlier this year of 2023. How many volumes are there? Hang on, I'm looking. It's by the same creator of Gantz. Here's the thing, I really like. He'll put little Easter eggs in. Like, there's a Star Wars thing on his backpack, and of course he plugs in Gantz. There was the Jedi Republic sticker pin. Also, Boys Run the Riot is 4 volumes. I was mistaken. Yeah, Summertime Rendering 6. What the hell? How did I not put this in there? Wait, hang on. This is bad. I can't seem to find it unless I'm going over it. I think it was like 10 volumes now. It should be here. I don't know. I always put completed after I complete a series. Is it at the top? That'd be weird. Have I really started it for that long? No, it's not there. There's blood on the tracks. Gigant, 10 volumes, yeah. This must have been like 7 or 6. Anyway, awesome series. It's wacky. It's by the guy who made Gigant and Inuyashiki. Okay? It's wild. It's wacky. Speaking of Gantz, I've recently read volume 2 and 3 of the Omnibus. I want to read more, okay? It just recently actually completed it. There are 12 omnibuses. I need 9 more. So essentially, I got all of Bleach and read all of Bleach. I'll talk about that later in the video. And now I'm starting on One Piece. At least the 4 box sets. I have the first one on the way, and I got the 4th one for my birthday. So I just need 2 and 3. Anyway, shit gets real in Omnibus 2. It breaks your heart, but also more mystery stuff. I thought some characters were gonna make it into like the end of the series, but I guess I'm like wrong. There's a lot of content per omnibus, so there's a lot that can happen, I guess. And Volume 3 was epic. This is Drip Drip. It's by Paru Tagu. It's by the creator of Beastars. It's essentially about this girl who gets nosebleeds if she touches anything dirty. And that's her wedding dress in blood, because I guess she was lied to in this context. Very great. Loved it. It's a nice read. Of course, if you don't like blood, don't read it. Also, I believe she gets nude in this. So, if you don't like tits, who doesn't like boobs, right? If you don't want to read it, don't read it. Yeah, so anyway. Next up. This was a weird read. It has some chapters in it. See if I can't find it. It's called Utsubora. Essentially, this novelist has a lover and she commits suicide. Or so you think. Until one day he runs into this girl who looks exactly like her. Is it her? Is it a twin? Who knows? Read it. It has a lot of sex stuff and a lot of nudity. So some trigger warnings, of course, for suicide and other things. The ending was really kind of reminded me of No Longer Human, Osamu Dazai. If that is a hint towards anything. And his niece is in love with him, which is weird. I don't know if they're like blood related, but it's still weird. Gotta wrap this up. I'll actually pause. Oh my god, I did it again. I think it brings me to the first tab. I might have time to actually finish this. Why is it doing this? Okay, this is November, but it's weird. Why is it like... What the hell? What the hell? What? Why? I'm actually annoyed. I just want to do the video. What the fudge? Fudge. Stop going ahead. What did I do? What did I do to this? Oh my god, you're gonna see my leaked stuff. Look at that. Oh, 2023 stuff. I haven't stopped doing my logs. I just haven't recorded them. Maybe that'll work. What did I do? Okay, whatever. This was shoot. What's it called? It's Nichijou. It was okay. Episodic, it seems. It's has some funny moments, wacky moments. I don't think I'll get the rest. maybe if I ever get into episodic stuff, the anime is out. If you want to watch that, yeah. Next up, this Don Da Don Da Don. This was volume 2 because there are only 3 volumes out. I've read all 3. I like the premise. It's getting better and better every volume, though. Yeah. Please read it. He's mastering his powers. She's mastering her powers. Yeah. Ghost, alien, sci-fi, supernatural stuff. Read it. This Frieren. Journey's End. A Journey's End? Beyond Journey's End. This girl. She's an elf. They live for hundreds of years. And she has companions. Dwarves. A dwarf and humans. So, 100 years for her feels like a fragment of her life. But for them, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like forever. So, she visits them one last time before they die. And she goes on a journey. So this brings me to tab 1, clearly. Anyway. Oh my god, yes, Journey's End. Frieren. Now it's back to... Brother! Okay, I can actually finish recording. I just had to pause real quick. Frieren, Brown at Journey's End. Yeah, so essentially we see her go back, visit friends. She has a realization, and she's sad, and she tries to make the most of it. And she also, it's really nice. I want to read more of it, actually. I'm not against that. PTSD Radio. This was volume 1. Yes. Some of the stories are connected, but it's really episodic. But we're only going to be 3 volumes. I have 2. Third one's coming out soon. The mangaka had to stop making it because he got creeped out because some of the events he made in his manga were somehow happening to him. Some of the stories are connected, like I said. Some of them aren't. It's really awesome. It's really weird and wacky. They're only like a couple pages long, and there's almost always no dialogue, really. So you can finish it pretty quickly. Next up. Kaiju number 8. This must have been volume 4. Things are getting heated. Maybe this was volume 3. I don't remember. We'll find out when I go through my other logs. Anyway, things are getting heated. He's learning to use his abilities. But guess what? The agency he works for discovered who he is. That he is Kaiju number 8. So they put him, they do some stuff with him. Maybe that didn't happen in this, but anyway, he's doing his best, okay? He's learning. It's a great shonen so far. Next up, Sakamoto Days. This was volume... This was volume 5. Because it took place at a museum. Yeah. It was great. I loved it. I'm kind of loving the series more and more as I read more of it. Yeah. Hang on. And this, you learn more about the antagonist. So it's sort of episodic, but it actually has plot in it. The action is top tier as always. I love it. The fighting is awesome. The art is awesome. Shen, he develops more. This was Undead Unluck 9 or 10. We learn more about Unstoppable or Unmovable. Um, Top. We learn his backstory, and look at his fucking awesome suit for this battle. That is unmovable. That is unstoppable. And he's running on fucking air. It's fucking awesome. Essentially, yeah. Oh my god, I just noticed his running number is 007. I call me Bond. James Bond. Next up. Ooh, boy. Record of Ragnarok. I love this. The volumes aren't coming out fast enough. I got the most recent volume. We see who wins this battle, and honestly, I was a bit surprised. Um, but it was so awesome. And the next battle, oh my god. I got the next volume, so we get to see them fight a bit, the next guys who are fighting. I just love the concept of the series. The creator of One Punch Man 1 is doing something similar, but with different universes and different abilities, like wacky stuff, not like gods and humans. Yeah. Soul Eater. She doesn't have nipples, okay? What are you gonna do, huh? Or a vagina. She's a weapon. She's more than that to me, but you know what? Doesn't matter. This was volume Perfect Edition 8. Black Star is growing. He is mastering his abilities with Tsubaki, and I love it. And then, yeah. I really love Black Star as a character. He's so awesome, so speedy, so fast, so fun. You know, so many things. I'm trying to go quick because I don't know when I'll be interrupted again. But let's do this. This was My Broken Mariko. It is one volume. It is emotional. It'll tear you apart. It's essentially this girl, her friend dies. She, is a mess over that. And the girl's father wasn't exactly the best, so she tries to get the ashes back, and it unfolds from there. Yeah. Wait a damn minute. That's not My Broken Mariko. I already did that. Fuck. This was Sensei's Pious Lie. Um, Ignore what I just said about My Broken Mariko. Sensei's Pious Lie. As trigger warning. Look into that, the trigger warnings. This is like 4 volumes long. I don't know if this was the final volume or not, but if it was, then such a good series. Give it a read. I really wish there was an epilogue, because it was so good, and I love the ending. I love everything that transpires. Some of it was triggering. Some of it was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck's going on? Why is this weird shit? Domestic abuse, cheating, sexual assault. Obviously, warnings, trigger warnings before you get into it. But it is. I recommend reading it. Like, it's such a good read. Yeah, Forbidden Love as well. Next up, Mob Psycho volume. This was volume like 9. He's fighting. He's mad. He's something happened. He's in his headquarters fighting people. Oh my god, I used the same panel on my most recent log. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. This was Crazy Food Truck. This was volume 2. I love it. It's sort of episodic, but it isn't. Like, it's not episodic. Um, you know, you actually learn the recipes too, which is awesome. I loved it. I love it. Um, this was volume 2, yeah. They get closer. They make some new allies actually, which is pretty cool. As things become hectic even more than they already were. Next up, Beastars. I don't know. What? How much of this is left? How much of this is left? How much of this? How much of this is left? Sorry. Beastars. Beastars ended. I finished it. I don't know if this was the last volume, but this happened in it. Haru was like, "You're always trying to eat me. I'm gonna eat you. Sexy time with the Goshi." I love it. Despite initially when I first read it, I was like, "Oh my god, furry shit." No, it's actually not. It's actually more than that. Anthropomorphic creatures by Haru Itaku. Like I said, she made Drip Drip. Seeing her draw humans was weird, but this is animals, obviously. Getting closer and closer to the end with this one. I loved it, though. I know in maybe it's like 2023 logs, but there is a moment where Legoshi, like the words Beastars are spoken. So yeah. Next up, Alice in Borderland. Still at the stupid fucking place, the hotel, and shit is getting whack. Shit is getting real. Especially the ending of this volume. I know it's a very short series. Yeah. There are some side stories. I'm not really a fan. I'd much rather the side stories come at the end of the volumes rather than at, I mean, so essentially Alice in Borderland is a compilation of 2 volumes or parts. It's normally like 2 parts put together. And yeah, I guess they just do it in the order as it came out. So the side story came out, and boom. I wish the side story actually had meaning. It's just like it's kind of like what happens in the empty time that we don't see the people, like the time that we skip by. It's normally in the side story, or sometimes it's a completely random character. I love it though. This was Look Back. I love Tatsuki Fujimoto. I love Chainsaw Man. I love his one shots. This was wacky. It finally came out physically. And of course, he always throws. You think it's a normal manga, and then he throws in his twist. I loved it. Give it a read. It's a one shot. You can read it in one sitting. This was Inside Mari. This has ended. I think it ended in 2023, but you discover more of Mari in her life, and it kind of fucks with your brain. Oh my god, Shuzo Oshimi's a master of psychological horror. I'm very hungry, so I'm talking quickly to wrap this up so I can go eat. Yeah. I love Shuzo Oshimi. I've said this so many times. Go read his work. If I could recommend anything, Flowers of Evil, probably the shortest. Well, the actual shortest is probably Shino Can't Say Her Name, Avant Garde, and then Devil's Ecstasy, and then Flowers of Evil. Even then, I think Happiness might be shorter. Anyway, read it, please. Then I got more of 20th Century Boys. I love it. I love it. Okay, it gets better and better. Read it. Naoki Urasawa is a genius. A master mangaka. There's a reason why he has Asadora, he has Pluto, he has Monster, he has this. And Billy Bat. So many things under his belt. I want Billy Bat to get a physical print. I've heard it's really good. And this symbol is taken back in this volume that I read. December 2022. Not much here. Let's get into it. I finished 20th Century Boys. I don't know if it was in this or in 2023. I think it was in this though. Finished it, so good. The only thing I didn't like was in the final volume was called 21st Century Boys. But there's a chant they say in the previous volumes. It's like Gouda Rara, Gouda Rara, Suda Rara. And then it changes into the final volume, they change it to Suda Lala, Gouda Lala. What the hell is that about? That annoyed me so much, but it's a great series, so go read it. This was Inside Marie. This was more and more. We learn more about her memories, and then it begins to fuck with you. It's like, is Marie actually, is Marie actually the main body? Is she just making up a personality? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Give it a read, please. I'm swearing because I love this and I'm really hungry. Our Dreams at Dusk, a Barnes & Noble cashier recommended this to me a while back. I finally got it. It deals with LGBTQ stuff. This guy is gay. He's kind of thinking about killing himself, but he doesn't. He sees this beautiful woman. He goes over to this place. It's like a weird hangout place, and he starts hanging out there. And I kind of want to read more of it. I'm not really a fan of the art style, though. Some of the panels are beautiful, though. Hair in my mouth. I don't remember his name, if I'm being honest. I can't get the fucking hair out of my mouth. Anyway. Burn the Witch. Since I have finished Bleach, I don't understand how this fits in. There's no connection so far. We just know that this is the Western, like, branch of the Soul Society or something like that. That's what WB means, Western branch. It's wacky, it's weird. I want Kubo to finish it, like, make more of it. I know he was working on the anime to make sure it's perfect. But still, I want more of this, please. This was Ragna Crimson. Crimson Ragna. It's about this guy who gets powers, but it's also like time travel, but not time travel. It's Ragna Crimson. This is the panel. He's OP as fuck. Like, he becomes OP as fuck. I don't know if I really like that, though. But with his power that he gains, he's going to try and change the future. So, we'll see. This was, I can't find it. The World After the Fall. It's a manhwa. Interesting concept. I got volume 2. I can't wait to read it. And that's about it. I will make a video explaining where I've been. I will upload this after I explain where I've been. So, I don't know when this will be uploaded. It'll be published. I mean, I'll upload it, but I don't know when I'll publish it anyway. That's about it. See you in the next video.